Hello everyone, welcome to Bonsai Expression. I'm Christoph and today is it's quite a mild, lovely January morning. It's a bit blustery, but when that wind calms down, it is actually quite warm because the sun keeps coming. It keeps popping in and out between them clouds. So as I say, when it does come out from the clouds, it's quite nice. As long as that wind does do one, because when that wind comes out, it's a little bit blustery and it's a little bit chilly, cold weather. So let's hope for a bit more sun for the rest of the day before I go back to work and we get this video done. And it'll be nice and warm. Anyways, we're here for the European Hornbeam today because after that lovely repot and a nice little root prune that we did earlier on in 24 now, and it's now 2025, can you believe it? Well, the tree's doing really well. And we're here to have a look at it and get that winter prune ready for this next spring. 12 months on from that lovely root prune. How's the tree getting on? Let's have a look and we'll get working on it today, give it a nice bit of a trim, have a look at some correcting issues because obviously I've just let it grow, recover from the last prune on them roots. And it's sat down here. I'm not going to lift it up and show you because it is quite heavy in comparison to the other trees that we've worked on recently. So I'm just going to pop it over here. We're going to have a quick look at it. I'm going to defoliate it because with it being a hornbeam, they tend to keep hold of their leaves throughout the winter to protect the buds. So what I will do is defoliate it, remove them so we can have a proper look and we can have a look at diagnose those twisty branches that are just in the way of everything, and we need to remove those and get it into the proper structure that it should be and just downright get it into a proper shape. So let's have a look at it over on the spinny chair. Let's get into this. Here we go. As you can see, it's doing really well. It's put plenty of growth on. It's a lot thicker now, but as you can see, these European hornbeams and the Korean hornbeams and hazels, because they're all in the same family, keep hold of the leaves through winter. They turn brown and they keep hold to protect the buds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to defoliate. Now there's a few ways you can do it. So you can go through it like this and you can pull them off. You can use a pair of scissors or a pair of snips and you can go through and cut off the leaves. You can grab hold and you can be gentle and you can pull like this, or if you're a YouTuber like me, there's another way of doing it. You can do it like this. Honestly, that saves so much time. Why doesn't everybody just do it like that? I'm only kidding with you guys. So I've got it down to its bare bones now so you can see it properly. You can see just how well it's doing. Everything is looking really good. Now, unfortunately, I've got a couple of issues which we will go into detail now. One of the branches, especially here, I hope you can see it on camera. Yes, I'll get you in proper, but one of the lower branches has now decided that it wants to be the leader. So the main leader itself is here, but the main branch lower down has now decided to take off, thicken up ridiculously, and it wants to be the leader. So I've got to make a decision. Do I cut my nice top off and start with a leader here, or do I remove that? So that's going to be one of the decisions that we go down. Let me show you. Let me get you in nice and close. So there we go. Just look at the size of it. It's ridiculously thick. I've got a nice leader we'd built. If you remember, I did a cut just there. We sealed it with a bit of paste. I've got some gnarly scar marks on it. As you can see, that haven't healed, but do add to the character of the tree. It's come nice, and then I've got the nice whip that grows up. But you can see, as I let everything heal, that took off. And yes, the top itself didn't die off. It is all still alive, just that this seems to be more healthy than everything else. So the decision is, do I remove it, leave another big wound, or do I allow that to become the leader? Now, I think it's pretty obvious because the top is really nice. I'm going to take that one off, so that's going to be a big cut. My main other concerns are nothing too major. They are just interfering branches and long whips. So things that are just crossing again. If I just move down, I've got stuff that's just going back on itself, but nothing too major. And everything else just seems to be growing quite well. Just got to do some minor work As you can see here, I've just got some small, if I just put my hand there, I've just got some small detail work I've got to be doing there. I've got it twisting, and then I've got some on the inside. So that's all I'm going to be doing today, just minor detail work. Again, just got to be sorting these out. I do have this branch as well here, it's pretty thick right next to it. So again, probably going to go and make a decision. I've got to keep moving in and out because these are long whips. Make a decision, do I come in and remove that? It's pretty thick, or can I live with it? Just cut it back, take the vigor out of it. These are nice little easy decisions we're going to be making today. So let's just get you on another angle. We'll change the scenes, get you on a different angle, have a look. I do have some more small shoots at the bottom as well, just down here. So the tree is really healthy. It has put quite a bit of growth on. So if you remember the last video, let me move you in a little bit better as well. If you remember the last video, I said there wasn't much thickness to this. It was very small. So now the trunk has started to thicken up. It is now nearly two, I'd say 2.5 of my fingers wide, getting there. So it's probably doubled in size now, just since we've put this bigger pot, since it's put in the bigger pot. So it's doing well. Nice growth. Let's change the angles. So I'm going to start with this big, this big branch that decided it wants to be the leader. In fact, no, I'm going to take this one out because it's coming from the branch at the back and it's going to come right across. I'm just going to snip this one off just so it's out of the way and it's not going to get used. It's interfering. Then I'm going to plod on with this. So this has got to come off. So first things first, I'm just going to make a small cut just to reduce it in height so I can get in there. Now, this thing is pretty darn gnarly. It's big, so again, I'm just going to come in, make a small relief cut, as you can see, and then I'm going to have to get in there with some knob cutters and nibble away. So I'm just going to grab my knob cutters. So I'm going to use a smaller pair rather than a large pair, and I'm just going to come in, start nibbling away. Now I just need to support the tree as best as I can and just nibble at it. Now the reason I'm using the smaller pair rather than my larger pair is because my larger pair, I need a new pair. So on the larger pair I've got a big divot, if you can see. I hope you can see on these. So on these ones here, they're nice and smooth, but I've got a divot on the larger pair, and I don't want to be taking a big chunk out of it and causing an issue on the tree. So I'm using these ones until I get myself another pair. So the smaller ones will do the job, just means I have to work a little bit slower and do a bit more nibbling. It's just going to take me a little longer. I also need to fill this wound in with cut paste, which I will do towards the end. Just need to move this around a little bit so I've got access. Now it is a pretty decent sized wound, as you can see from that side. I'll spin it round. As you can see, it's a sizable wound, but it's not too deep. I haven't gone really severe inside the tree, as you can see. I'll move it there. So hopefully that should heal nicely. Take a little bit more off that bit there. I'll pop a little bit of cut paste on. I'll also clear this section up here as well from the previous marks, the previous cuts we did, so that's died off. So shortly, towards the end of my trimming, I'll just pop a bit of cut paste on there. Okay, so that bit's done. We've removed that nice big, well, it wasn't nice, it was horrendously grown out big branch. So what I will do now is I'll just move you up, and while we're in the canopy, we've got this nice leader. I'm just going to come in, I'm just going to snip it down a little bit, so the dead sections here, I'm going to bring this one down, and I'm going to bring it to the bud here. So there is my leader, and I'm also going to just bring this here. Now I've got two branches that are what we would call parallel to each other, so they could be what we would call ladder branches. Now I've got one here on the side that will develop outwards, so I'm just going to remove this one here. So it'll go left, right, left, straight up. In fact, I'm going to bring this one down a little bit more as a tad. Cut that off, clean that bit up, bring that back into shape a little bit more. So there we go. That's my leader, my crown, my apex, however you would like to call it. That is all sectioned out, done. I'm going to spin so you can see the other section here. I've got this part, I'm just going to bring in here, neaten it off, and I've also got a little section here. I've got a little bug at the end, I'm just going to squish that. I don't want that crawling about. So the apex is done, it's all nice, it's all neat. And then while we're here, as I was stating before, if I angle it, I've got this nice fat area of a branch that is divided into two. If I just move it out a touch, just so you can make better vision of it. If I continue to allow them both to develop, this is going to continue to get too fat for the apex area of the tree. So I need to reduce everything. Now, if I just move it this way, you can see, so on the left side of your screen now you can see where it is. And then I've got this branch here, and it is long, so I'm just going to pull it right back and clean it up. Just going to pull it, and I'm going to remove it all the way back to here. So now it comes out, and I've got this tiny little one here. And the same for this section here as well. I want to bring it right back. I've got a bud. In fact, let me just have a quick peek at that. I'm going to lose this back section completely, and I'm just going to continue with this little branch. So if I bring it round, you can see I've just taken this section out, and I'm just going to continue with this on the right. There we go. Keeping it short, keeping it compact. While we're here, we've got this section as well, and this one. So in the center, I've got this branch that has just gone mad. It's gone completely and utterly out of control. As you can see, it's coming right towards the camera now. Now, the question is, do I need it? No, because I've got the original branch that comes here and goes off to the left. I'm just going to take it off completely. Then this one here, I'll bring back, and I'll do the same with this one. And I will also do the same for this one. Looking for the buds, I want the buds now on this branch here. If I swing it back round for you. So this branch, I would like it to come to the left. Now the only way to do that is to bring it back and then try and find the bud that will push out to the left, as this is going out to the right. And I think we're just going to nip it right back there. Hopefully this will then bring it out this way. Got a branch underneath here, I just need to take that one out. This is possibly too long, so in fact I'm just going to bring it right back, and I'm just going to nip this one back as well to here. So this side is now in a position I like. There we go. So that's the crown of the tree in a good position. If you just angle you down a little bit more, you can see this section now. This one, again, shut out too far, and the one on the other side also. So let's bring both of these back into a position that I'm comfortable with, and we'll nip both of these back also. So just there, if I close this out, you can now see how we've got this spread. So we're doing this step by step, branch by branch. The next branch will be this section we do here. Now this one is too close and it's coming up and then it's going back down. I'm just going to come in and remove it completely. It's starting to develop nicely, but again it's spreading out too far. I'm going to come in, reduce it, the branch, and then just reduce that tiny bit as well. Everything's stepping nicely. Again, we need to move on to this back branch, but again, I'm just going to, while we're here and we're in sight, I'm just going to come in to this long branch. I'm just going to reduce it. This is the primary branch. Possibly to there, maybe a bit shorter, but we'll just check on that in just a second. I'm going to keep going to there. That needs to be removed completely. Do you know what? I'm going to go to here and then to here. Okay, yes, so everything, there we go, everything is in line and it's going in the right direction. So now I will move on to this side here. You're in the right stead. This comes out and then goes back on itself. I do kind of like that, but I'm just going to nip it off here, use this as the primary set, and then I'm going to come in, just take that section off for the time being. This one is too thick. I'm just going to, I know I'm in your line, but I'm just going to take that out, bring back to the bud. And then the back one here, too close, just going to take that off. And reduce that one to there. Okay. So you can see. So let's continue with the tree. If I move you down, I've got this one here. This one actually goes up and then across. So again, I'm just going to reposition you into a different angle so you can see it better. So the one I've just been talking about is this one here. It goes up and then across. I am going to lose it and I'm going to keep this one here that comes straight down. Well, straight across. And we'll use that, we'll utilize it. I'm just going to take this one off. So this is how we're going to go. We're going to go straight. What we will do is develop from this branch, keep that out, and then we'll develop out of it. Just next to it, we've got this one. Again, it's trying to go up. I'm just going to take the upward motion out of it. And then, excuse me, just going to nip the closest buds to the branch, to the trunk off. There we go. If I move you around, you can see just slightly at the top of the screen here, I've got one that goes off. It's basically splits from the trunk. I know it's off center, so let me just move it up a little bit so you can see. It goes off center. So I'll make a decision, do I want left or right? So I'm just going to pick left. I'm just going to take out that side, and we're going to utilize this side. I'm going to allow it to grow out to the left. Do we use it in the future? Probably, probably not. We'll take one of these and we'll develop it. But for the time being, we'll make use of it. So let's spin you around and let's get into this one just here. So I'm going to position you again, just where you can see. Nice angle. Again, this one, I've got the branch that comes right from the base. I'm just going to remove it. It's too close to the trunk. Now the branch itself is great. Got one underneath I'm just going to take out. I'm going to shorten the ends. One right in the center. I'll move you to back. Just here, I'm trying to take out. Let's clean this stub up. Come in. In fact, I'm just going to bring it back a little bit. I don't know what I'll do with that in the future. In fact, I'm just take all that off and we'll work with that. It's too thick. So there we go. That's how that sits. You can see this one from the bottom grows up. It's in the bottom of your screen. While it's there, I'm just going to come in and take it off. It's annoying me. While you're here, on the bottom of your screen, you can see I've got this one here growing. So again, I'm just going to angle you a little bit. There you go. So this one grows out and then twists back on itself. So I've got this section here I'm going to take out, and then this one as well. This part grows back, so let's take that one off completely. It twists back. I do like how it twists, but I'm going to lose it. I'm going to develop from this. So if I show you, you can now see that branch. The one behind it is really well developed. All I'm going to do, it needs to be the longest, but I just want to bring that in a little bit, just a tiny amount. So again, just clean it up. Okay, so a nice little flyover for you. So at the base, we've got a nice couple of smaller branches. Working our way up, everything is now neatly trimmed. We've got a few branches. The back here, unfortunately, well, I'm going to say this is the front because obviously I've got no branches at the front here. Everything is at the back. You can see the main trunk itself, nothing. So as I say, this is going to be, I assume, is the front. I've got nothing down this section, so that should be the front. And as a excuse me, I'm still a little bit ill. Just the ends of it now. So as you see, the main trunk, nothing there. All the branches are collectively at the top. So if I pull out a little bit, you can see just there. Everything is nicely towards the top end of the tree, the apex. The dominant section, it is predominantly up there, but you can see it is all nicely compacted. The only thing I do sort of have an issue with is these two branches here. They are pretty close together. Now, I think later on down the line I will probably remove one of these, possibly this one, but I'm not 100% sure as of yet, because if I just let you have a look here, from this angle it seems to go right, left, right. And it doesn't look too bad, but they are really close. And now if I move you to the front, again it goes left, right, left, but that they are so close together, and then it does look like a ladder branch. So again, I'm just going to see how this goes, and then I'll make the decision later on whether or not to remove one of these or not. And if I move up, I've got this one right here, but then I've got nothing in this sort of area where I've just took that big chunky branch that grew off into the leader. So that should have been a nice small one, but again it took off, deciding to be the leader. I've now put putty paste on there to do the healing. So possibly remove that one, but if I remove that one, then I've got nothing till further down. So again, possibly that one, it sort of even everything out, it sort of evens it out. I'll see what comes of it in spring in terms of bud and everything, where more buds shoot. But yeah, it does look okay for the time being. As you can see, I just give a little close up there. You can see the rest of the branches, very nice spread. They've got a nice, well, focus. They've all got a nice little spread going on. Everything's in a nice area. As I say, the apex is now, without that large branch, it is now looking really tidy. And I'm quite happy the way everything's going. I just wish I had more going on in this area at the front. The odd branch would be nice, and then something filling this area as well. So I'm hoping for a few more buds popping come spring. Now I've got the small branches just down here, so I'm just going to come in and nip them off. I think don't need that, so let's just pop that off. And I think I've got a couple lower down. No point in having those on, it's not going to work. No need in them, just wasting the tree's energy. Clear them out. There we go. So yeah, the tree's back to a relatively staggered stage. Well, early stage. I mean, it's the same repeat and rinse and repeat as we keep going on. Oh, one more thing I have just noticed, I know it's a bit jittery, is this one here. If you can see it, just there, it's going upwards. So I'm just going to snip that one off as well. But other than that, the branches are all nicely in a nice radial angle, and then they split off lovely. They're all nicely thickening up as well. So again, it might seem like a progress that's just rinse and repeat, but everything's thickening up, everything's coming along nicely. I'm just waiting for the buds to pop in the correct places where I do want them, and then obviously the tree is getting there. It's starting to thicken up nicely as well. Like, the trunk is coming along. It's put a lot of growth on in the last 12 months since we've had it in this nice big pot. And I'm quite happy with the way this apex is looking. Really pleased. Well, the wind's really picked up now and it's getting quite cold, so that sun's not really come out as I hoped. Well, so the tree's looking good. As you can see, this section just here, which is going to be the front, it's got nothing to it. So you can see there, it exaggerates it even worse on this angle. I would like, and I'm hoping, that come spring, at least in the growing season anyway, that we get a couple of buds pushing through there, and then I can get something growing just to fill out, and it'll look nicer, give this tree some sort of characters, at least this sort of area here, and then you can have the trunk on show lower down, and fill more the top end of the trunk, and then the trunk at the bottom, which should be on show. It'll be a lot nicer. But there you go, you can see it coming along a lot better now. So now we've got that trim, it's coming along, it'll push out further outwards, and then it should bifurcate towards the bottom of all these branches, just like this one has at the bottom here. You can see, split into two. So the rest of the tree will continue to do that. I'm really pleased with the apex, it's coming along quite nicely. It has got a lot of scarring, but again, this growing season, it should fill out nicely. I'm happy with this one, as I keep saying, quite chuffed. It's doing its job in this nice big pot, it's thickening up lovely, and it's putting on plenty of growth. So one more year of that, and it should be well on its way to becoming a lovely little bonsai. And as I say, I shouldn't have put it in a smaller pot because I held this tree back a couple of years. It should be well in its growth. It should be at least double this size, but I've held it back, and now this is why I've put it in that pot. Anyway, I need to get on. I need to start getting ready for work. So if you like this one, please do give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, because please do subscribe. A massive 64% of you haven't yet, and you're watching me, so why not? It's free. Please do hit that subscribe button. Go on. Yeah, so it's another one for you. Just look at it. going to be good. This one's going to look good when it starts putting the leaves on. As I say, I've got to get off now. I've got to get ready for work. Get out of this cold weather. It's freezing. Roll on spring when it gets warm again, because these trees are going to start looking good. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone.